There was a new patch and of course the start to the new season 25, so perfect timing for a new tier list where I give my thoughts on the Pokemon in the current meta. As always, I have two tier lists that I do at the same time. Top and bot path at the top, and of course to the right of me or left of me, depending on how you want to see it, we have the central area tier list. Again, I have to split those two up, otherwise you can't really get a feeling for how strong a Pokemon is, because some are very good in central, but absolutely terrible when played in top or bot path. I'm gonna go from role to role, and you can just go to the chapter as well if you just want to see the explanations for every role individually. First up, of course, attacker. Venus I think is pretty average right now, but B+ I think is like a good average where the Pokemon is still quite decent. If you're good at it, you definitely can carry games with it. In central area, I do think Petitance and Giga Drain can be a great carry. I'm gonna put it into A tier. I don't see it all too often, but if you want free wins and easy wins, I think Petitance Giga Drain is a great build for it. Pikachu at least A tier, just because it's very versatile as an attacker, and it's just one of the better supports. Like, currently attacker Pokemon that only do damage are kind of weak, and Pikachu of course brings the utility. Either Void Tackle or a big AoE stun, can even run XP share, so very useful for the team. But of course we do not want to be able to, don't want to play this in central area anywhere. I don't want to see it in my games, and lately I've been seeing a lot of central area Pikachu, sadly. Ninetales I'm going to drop to B+ because it got nerfed. Same for central area, I'm going to drop it a bit. I mean, I always had it around like B maybe in central area, because I think they can be a good central area build, but they nerfed a boost outtake damage. They also nerfed Blizzard Avalanche, so I feel like it does drop down a tier at least. Mewtwo Y is still one of the best hyper carries in the game, just no one wants to play it because it's kind of lame, and it's a bit tainted from, the EX days. So definitely in central area I really hate it, but I do think it's also probably A+, but it's such a struggle to play in central area because your farming is so slow, but still one of the best hyper carries in the game, specifically in a meta where Safeguard Blissey and Helping Hand Blissey is one of the best Pokemon in the entire game. Again, people are always shocked by my Mew placement. It is great in tournament, it is great in coordinated play. For us, for 90% of the player base that just plays solo, plays just whatever they want in ranked, Mew is a very average Pokemon. It's so bad in solo queue, it really is. I can't recommend it. In tournaments, it's up here. In mostly what we play, it's very mid. I really don't think Mew is any good right now. It's such a struggle to get damage out. If you have good teammates, you can use coaching on. You have a lot of utility. That's why it's still a great Pokemon for tournaments. It can run XP share. And if your allies are good, Mew gets even better. And in ranked, like, it is painful to play in solo queue. Very painful. Espeon is just a strong, solid attacker Pokemon that's always a good choice. I don't think it's all too strong in central area, but it's definitely better than the ones down here. Gardevoir got a small buff, but at the same time, I mean, it doesn't really matter all too much. I still think it's at the same level it has been before. Just makes life a bit easier for Gardevoir, especially in central area, because you get level 7 evolution for the mid-Altaria fight. Glaceon and Path, I think Glaceon is just an annoying Pokemon. I'm going to put it into a B in top and bot path, and A in central area. It is just a frustrating Pokemon. It doesn't really seem overpowered until you get hit by 12 Icicle Spears and just go down one time, and you're like, wow, this Pokemon is so broken. But in the end, it's still, like, it's not bad. It's also nothing absolutely crazy. Candle, I feel like, has fallen off a lot. It's so easily diveable, even though you have Imprison. It's so difficult to late game teamfight with it. I really can't recommend Chandelure currently, and it's a shame because I really loved playing it. So yeah. Delphox, at least B+, due to Fire Spin being solid. Central area, I do think it has fallen off. Mystical Fire, Flame Charge, also very difficult to play. You're just so squishy, one mistake, you're instantly gone. And there's a lot of mobility right now, lots of point and click damage, like Absol, Farms, Delphox, Mimikyu, all those Pokemon are so difficult for Delphox to deal with in central area. And, but, just putting out a few Fire Spins is definitely still a very strong move. Up next, Greninja and Path can definitely be stronger than other Pokemon compared to like Cinderace. I'm gonna go Cinderace down here, because you have a more power spike on level 7, I guess, and the wasted takes also a bit more damage. Bubble is a bit of better secure. Can I recommend Greninja on top and bot path? No. Do you have an XP share, lane partner, and you're just good at the Pokemon? Then definitely it's something you can do, but I still wouldn't recommend. In central area, I think A is also fair for it. I do like Greninja currently, and I think it's a great carry. Sylveon, I think I'm going to put back into B+ for now. I do think Hyper Voice and Carmine's actually decently underrated too. I think I had it somewhere here last patch. I'm going to put it into B+, and central area, I think also B. should be fair for Sylveon. Decidueye, just because level 7 is just like Greninja is a bit better than Cinderace for sure. So you have good, last setting, you have good poke, and Central Area I think B, because it's also just very diveable, right? It's very easily flanked, a lot of speedsters that make your life hard, so I think B is also fair for it. Inteleon, I think is back to A. I think it's performing pretty decently again, but it's also a terrible solo queue Pokemon. So I don't know. I think probably B plus is a bit more fair for Inteleon. Just somewhere in the middle. I think that's definitely fair. And for Central Area, I mean, I kind of feel like I have to put it into A, but it feels weird to put it higher in Central Area than in Path. So I'm gonna have this in B. I think that's decent. Liquidation is a average, but I mean B just means average. Those are Pokemon you can pick and win on and still do fine if you're good at them, but they're nothing like out of the ordinary, right? So I just think these are a tiny bit better, but not by much really. Like it's very, very close between these two tiers. Like in Central Area anyways, like in Central Area, any Pokemon can feel broken just because of Central Area works. Also, I forgot to put Cinderace down, also goes into B tier. So yeah, I mean in Central Area, any Pokemon can feel OP because you get the most experience. And if you're high level than the enemies, your Pokemon is good, right? That's just how it is. That's, it's hard to sometimes rate Pokemon in Central Area just for this reason that it's kind of like, you're going to be high level, right? Cram has fallen off a lot. But I think I can't put it lower than B tier just because it has good laning phase. And in Central Area also B with the Dive Hurricane or Dive Air Slash is still definitely a B tier build. Duraludon is okay. I don't know. It's just such a mid Pokemon. I think it belongs into B. Or, yeah, doesn't stand for mid kinda, but somewhere in that way. But yes, Duraludon is just, no one cares about this Pokemon. No one does. Dragapult definitely D tier in top and bot path, and in Central Area, I would also say B. Just because, again, Attacker just kind of, again, they're mid right now. They're not terribly, but they're also nothing to write home about. Amarouge in path. I mean, I honestly still prefer Amarouge over the other Attacker Pokemon, but I feel like I can't put it higher than B+. But in Central Area, I'm going to put it into A tier, but I also feel you can't put it higher than that. And Miraidon, to me, is still just S tier. I think that is a no-brainer to put Miraidon into S tier. Charge Beam is amazing in top and bot path, and so Electro Drift is still the better build, and often also it's just so disgusting still, Electro Drift. It really feels insanely unfair. Next up, we have our runner Pokemon, Charizard. Currently, please don't play this in top or bot path, a terrible Pokemon. And in jungle as well. I mean, it is just mid. Mid. I feel like most poke people are actually pretty mid right now. Machamp, honestly, that's quite good right now. Also competitive meta. Has a very game-changing Unite move still. And I know it's been like, was a long discussion, is Machamp better now or worse with the Unite move changes? And I do think the change or the rework to its Unite move to instantly cast actually made Machamp better. The more I played it, the more I got used to it. And it just also stops a lot of like double clicking on it, right? Like you can just press it one time, you don't have to double click it, maybe misclick somewhere because you got stunned and doesn't come out. You just press it, you instantly punch, it's hard to predict, and it makes Machamp feel more explosive. And in Central Area, I don't like Machamp at all. I really don't like Central Area Machamp. It doesn't have the, it's a great engager, it has good last hitting. In Central Area, there's definitely much better choices out there. Dragonite and Path, probably one of the worst ones you can ever pick. It just needs way too much experience to really get going. While in Central Area, I do think Hyper Beam is still a solid A tier move. Gyarados has fallen off a lot, but I can't put him lower than B+, just because his Unite move is good. He gets Gyarados very easily. But yeah, Jungle, please do not play it, even though you get level 5 after the first rotation. Do not play Central Area Gyarados. Mewtwo X is a weird Pokemon. I don't like it whatsoever. But it's still like Mewtwo X, but does it really do good in top and bot path? I see no one play it, so I can't really judge it. Like it's very hard to judge Mewtwo X, because literally no one plays this Pokemon. Yeah, I'm just gonna put it into B. Maybe that's a bit low, but in a Central Area, maybe also B. It's just such a, I don't know, no one plays it. It's so hard to judge it. Maybe it's a bit better than B tier, but in the end, I don't think anyone of you cares where I put Mewtwo X. You're not gonna play this Pokemon anyways. Alright, Azumarill, B+, missing out a bit for A tier, definitely. And in Central Area, I would put it into C tier. Scizor is definitely not too bad right now, I feel like, but you have to kind of counterpick it. But if you have a good Scizor game, it's definitely going to pop off. And I'm going to put into B tier or B plus in top and bot path and B tier in central area. The B tier is filling up a lot this time when it comes to central area. I might still move some up later into this tier list. We'll see if I change my opinion on someone. Scyther is very good if you know how to play him. I'm going to put him to B plus here and A tier, maybe even A plus in central area. Scyther just a Pokemon. If you don't know how to play it, it's bad. If you know how to play it, it is actually very, very strong. And yeah, let's just put it there. Tyranitar, I mean, I want to put it to D because I think you can just AFK farm the entire game and still have value as lane Tyranitar. So I'm actually going to put it into C tier. And in central area, I do think it's actually still A. It's just also a Pokemon that no one really wants to play because it's kind of lame. Blaziken, I'm going to finally put away from S to A+, just because laning phase can be very difficult right now. And it's not that overperforming either anymore, but it's still, of course, an amazing Pokemon. But having Blaziken in S tier definitely feels a bit too far. Going to put into A+ in both top, bot, and central. Metagross, also weird. I don't really like it. I think it's like B+. It is okay. It's just, its Unite move is holding it back way too much. Way too much. So, put it into the middle too, in both tier lists. Lucario, yeah, just a fine Pokemon. Don't play it in central area though. Also goes into that tier. Then we have Garchomp, and I'm going to make the thing I want to put Garchomp into S tier in both things. I'm tired of pretending that I've just put Garchomp only into A, even though he's literally one of the best Pokemon in the entire game. I want to see what people think of this. I always put Garchomp into A tier for a long time now, and people said me that's already too high. But Garchomp has been overperforming in its win rate, even though he got nerfed. It's played and first picked in tournaments, sometimes even banned. Like at this point, Garchomp is one of the best Pokemon in the entire game, and it deserves more respect. Aegislash, even though it got buffed, I think back to B+, well, its best builds, Sacred Sword and Wild Guard, I do think it's pretty fine again. And maybe a C tier still for, actually also probably B tier for central area. You just get level 7 very fast, which makes it nice. But I don't know if I can put it much higher. We'll see how time will tell if Aegislash deserves even higher rating when it comes to, you know, how this patch is going to continue throughout this season. Serena goes into A, even though its Unite move kinda, you know, is a bit countable right now. In central area into C tier. Mimikyu is just a annoying Pokemon. But it got a Shadow Claw nerf, so I don't know where to put it right now. Definitely central area, I still think Play Rough and Shadow Sneak is S tier of a moveset. I don't think that's a question. But for laning, for top and bot path, I mean, Shadow Claw got nerfed a bit, which makes it definitely weaker in lane. But its Unite move is just so annoying that it doesn't matter what. Like, it just decides games left and right. My opinion, Buzzwole is very good again. Goes into A tier. And in central area, I don't think you should play Buzzwole. It's just a waste. It's not a hyper carry. It's just someone who snowballs lanes very hard and you want to be played in lane. Get level 5 in lane, stay in lane. You don't want to go back to central area and farm wild Pokemon. So, but you can definitely play it if you want to, but I wouldn't recommend it. Phalanx is better than people think, but it's also a Pokemon that, you know, if you countered, you're done for. But people very underestimate Phalanx. It is much better than most of the player base thinks. Zacian is still very hard to judge, because, I mean, how good is Sacred Sword though right now? Like, I think Zacian probably goes back to S tier when it comes to Sacred Sword. Just because needing so much less Eos energy is just crazy for Zacian. It really is. It feels very, very strong with it. So, I think S tier for sure still for Zacian. Now we have the Urshifu builds. Surging Strikes, if you played in top and bot pair, that's the wrong one. This one, please don't do it. When it comes to jungle, I think it's definitely back into probably A+. I do think, you know, it's feels very annoying. While Wicked Blow definitely is better in path, top and bot path. You just have to get through Kapu. Maybe just don't play it when you don't have XP share in your lane. Just, if you have someone who plays like really tough Snorlax with you, you can 100% play Wicked Blow Urshifu in top and bot path. And in central area is still S tier. Cerulege, I do think is pretty decent still right now. I'm going to put into A+ in top and bot path. And also into A+ for central area. And then to the last one, Tinkaton. Tinkaton is so weird. I want to put into A S tier again, but then there's games where you just can't do anything on Tinkaton. You just get rolled over. You don't get stacks done. It's a terrible competitive Pokemon. But again, I don't want to put competitive too much into this tier list either, because that's what we don't play. So I'm going to put Tinkaton down to A+, even though I have the craziest games on Tinkaton. I think the average player, or like in general, your Tinkaton games will not look the same most of the time, and in central area, it should just not be played at all. Into the Speedster category, Gengar in path. I think just because Hex and Sludge Bomb can actually be played in top and bot path, I'm gonna put it into B tier. I think people sleep on it, and it's pretty decent, while I think in jungle is solid A. Also for Hex and Sludge Bomb, as it's currently its best moveset. Dodrio, it will always be a strong Pokemon. I don't want to put into S tier, but A+, just because people who play Dodrio are absolute pain to deal with. Absol in path, I really don't like it, but I think with the rise of Night Slash a bit again, it's definitely not a C tier. And in central area, also going into A+. Then we have Leafeon, which its win rate is very bad now. I don't know if I can put it into S tier anymore, but I mean, probably actually. I mean, Leafeon is just A+ in lane and S tier in central area. Leafeon has always been a skill issue when it comes to the win rates. Darkrai to me goes into S tier. Yeah, just ban this Pokemon. If you get draft, just ban it out. Such a pain. Zoroark, I mean, I think solid top and bot path A tier, while in central area goes into A+. Talonflame is also a very good top and bot path Speedster, but I don't know if I can put higher than B tier. While in central area, I like it a lot, and I do think it's into A+. Again, Speedsters are pretty good right now, though. Social ability. Zeraora, same as the other ones, as just a B path Speedster. While in central area, I do think it's a solid A. And then Meowscarada, which is just a... yeah, just a strong Speedster that no one really plays a lot, though. But I think going into A for both top, bot path, and central is fair to it. Now, Defender category, where we have Blastoise. Blastoise, to me, is currently so painful to be up against. Yet again, I'm going to put into A+. Same for Slowbro. Again, these ones I don't even consider for central area. Central area tier list is done, I think. I could, of course, put Blastoise in there, but that's kind of pointless. So now we're only on the top and bot path tier list for these remaining two roles. Lapras, I think, solid B. You just have to know what you're doing on it. Just sometimes games can be very difficult on it for sure. I think Snorlax is very underrated, and we see it also pop a lot of tournaments. You can carry it with Play and Block in solo queue. You can carry with Heavy Slam, Yawn, or Heavy Slam Block when it comes to like more coordinated teams, and it feels very, very good. Umbreon, in my opinion, still S tier, even though it got nerfed. Ho-Oh, I mean, Ho-Oh is so weird. I'm gonna put next to Lapras as well. It feels like such a waste of a Pokemon pick sometimes. Mamoswine, I feel like has dropped down again a bit, but probably B2. Crustle into just normal B now. Trevenant, still very, very good. One of the best defender in the entire game. Not enough for S tier, but enough for A+. Now Goodra, this is where people have been waiting for, right? The Goodra. It's very difficult to judge it. The problem is that Goodra still needs a lot of experience. Like a lot of experience to really become useful. But I'm gonna risk it. I'm gonna put Goodra into B tier, as I have to kind of clean up my tier list now a bit as well, as we're missing some spot. I think I want to move someone down to B though anyways, just so it looks better as well, because I think Delphox in lane, I think, should go down as well a tiny bit, just because it also needs a lot of experience. I feel like I need to imply the same to Pokemon. Playing Delphox in top and bot path without XP share is almost unplayable. Like, you need so much experience. Greedent, despite the nerfs, goes still into A. And now the last category, where we have one of the current best Pokemon in the entire game, Blissey, goes straight into S tier, Safeguard Helping Hand. It's currently my new hatred. If I play against a duo trio who has this Pokemon in their hands, games feel so impossible. They really, really feel impossible. Hooper still just such a game-changing character. If Blissey's banned, then Hooper is the next go-to. It's just so strong. Clefable solid A. It's a good counter to a lot of mobility right now. You can see, right, there's still a lot of, like, even Surf gets stopped, Hornleech gets stopped, right? There's a lot of dashes around, which makes Clefable a great counter pick. Wouldn't pick it too early, but it's a great counter pick if you feel like, you know, the enemies are weak against it. Wigglytuff got a damage nerf. Yeah, got a bigger shield, but I don't think the shield matters all too much to put it higher than B tier. Psyduck, probably, I would say, still S tier. I mean, it's just that, I know they nerf it, but maybe it's A+ now, but for now I'm gonna keep it in S and see how it, you know, how the patches go. Mr. is a great top and bot path Pokemon that is just, I think, a bit too niche for people to really understand how good Mr. Mime can be. Sableye as well. I mean, actually, I probably should put into B+ too. Let's just make this picture a bit bigger now. I'm going to put them into B+. Make the picture a bit bigger and I can still see it like this too. It doesn't matter if these tier lists are overlapping a bit. Comfey, probably A, right? It's just a normal Pokemon, and Eldegoss as well. Even with the buffs, I mean, it's just A+. You know, if Hoopa, Blissey has, you know, competition, when those are gone, Eldegoss is great. And that's it. That's it for the tier list of today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments what you agree and what you disagree with. And I hope to see you all in the next tier list or the next video or whatever it is in my next stream. Thank you guys so much for watching. Goodbye.